So hey everyone, welcome back, and today we are going to discuss another LeetCode contest, and this one is weekly contest 512. Talking about the contest questions, so questions are pretty easy, not too much difficult. And another thing is that the second problem is more easier than the first one. Like most of the people are commented on the LeetCode discussion section, so that's what I'm telling you right now. But yeah, the questions are pretty good. Let's start with the first problem. It's an easy problem. Okay, so and another thing is that LeetCode has like uploaded more than like it's almost it is 4,000 problem LeetCode have uploaded, which is, you can say, this one is the 4,001 problem, right? So the question is, you are given a two integer n and s. Got it? Return the largest integer that has at most n digits and whose sum of digit is s. If no such integer exists, return -1. Got it? So what they're saying that we have to let's see the example first. Like n is 2, n is 5, so the largest integer with at most 2 digit that has sum of digit of 9 is 90. So what they are saying that you have to we have to, what we have to do, like we have to give them maximum integer in which the digits are should be less than or equal to n. And another important thing is that the digit sum of that number should equal to s. So this is exactly they are asking us in this particular problem, right? And as the example they have mentioned that n is 2 and the value of s is 9, right? So what's the maximum number which we can form? So the result is 90. Why? Because it has 2 digits, the first condition, and the sum is 9, the second condition. So this is what we have to achieve in this particular problem, right? So this is the easy problem, and as per the constraints are pretty low. Like if you can see, the value of n is maximum 5 and the value of s is less than or equal to 100. So one thing which you should notice that, okay, if the value of n is 2, then what is the range of the digits? So which is the range should be like 1 to 99, right? And then another range should be like 1 to 999. Why I'm considering 1 over here, not 100 over here? Why? Because they have told at most n, they haven't told that at least n, which means it can have a 2 digits or like n digits or less than n digits, right? So that's why I'm considering it from the 1, right? It is the case when n is 3, like the above 1 is when the value of n is 2, right? And the another case is when the value of n is 4. What happened? Sorry, right? And the last case is when the value of n is 5, right? So these are the possible ranges which we have, right? Through which we need to find out the number between these particular ranges. If the value of n is 2, then we have to search between this range. If the value of 3 n is 3, then you have to search in this range and this range and this range, right? So the thing which I am telling you is the brute force approach. There are multiple ways, there are more efficient solution as well, but as per the constraints are pretty low, that's why I'm going with this particular approach, right? So you got an idea that what I'm talking about, that okay, if the value of n is 2, then I need to look between this range. If the value of n is 3, then I have to look between this range, and so on. After that, at every point I just have to calculate the digit sum. If the digit sum matches my s, then I have to store it inside my answer, because I don't have to I don't want to stop early, right? Why? Because I want maximum value. So there is another case that if instead of going from left to right, right, what I'm saying, that instead of going from left to right, if we are just only looking for the maximum value, then we can also start from the right to left, right? That will more efficient than what I have implemented, right? So let's see the code. What the code is, it is exactly what I have mentioned, right? So this is the base case, like if the value of n is 1 and if s is greater than 10, then it is not possible to actually form a number and find a number which have sum is equal to, right? Because it should contain more than 2 digits, but n is just 1, right? Another case is if the value of s is 0, then we don't have to do other thing, that we just return 0, right? After that, I have just calculated the maximum range. This is I have calculated using the power function in the Java, right? And after that, the max, which is going to store the maximum result. I'm iterating from 1 to max range. You can also go from right to left, which means you also can start from max range to 1. That will be more efficient, right? Because in this case I'm going from left to right, and I'm every time I'm calculating the maximum. But in that case, if at any point you got maximum, you just simply return from that point, because you are going from left to right, right to left, right? So that's the another thing. And this is the function which I have written, which is just calculating the digit sum, right? So this is the first problem, which is I think I got log out. Let's make a refresh. So you got an idea that okay, what I'm actually talking about. So this is, I think it may get an issue with the second problem as well. Let's open it another time. Okay, it redirected me to the another page. Got it. But yeah, my summation is out there. So this is the problem, like, and just executed it. It is working as fine. So yeah, this is the first problem. Let's move to the second one. So the second problem is pretty easy problem. It is, the only thing here is difficult is just the wording of the question, right? It is too much, like it is not like for the first time I also not able to get okay what you have written. You can wrote it in a simple words as well. But yeah, instead of reading the old stuff, I'll explain you in the very easy way that okay. But let's see what they're saying, that we have given a 2 series, right? The problem saying that we have given a 2 series, and we have to somehow like just read it for the better understanding that okay, each element in a both series of you have 2 series 1 and series 2. Each element in both series of form timestamp and the value, where timestamp is an integer representing the time and value is an integer representing the value at that timestamp. Each array is each array is sorted in increasing order. Make sure to note it down. That will help you a lot, right? For any timestamp, if not present in a series, its value is taken from the next available timestamp in the same series if one exists. Otherwise, its value considered 0. The aggregated series is formed by summing the corresponding value from both the series at timestamp that appear in either series. So I will explain you in a better way that okay. So what they are saying is that you have given a 2 series, got it? So we have 2 series, okay, we have this 2 series and we have to find the aggregated series, right? And how we can find it? We have to use the timestamp and the value from both the series, right? For example, if what are the timestamp available in this particular series is 1, 2, 4, 5, right? So these are the timestamp which we have right now, okay? So for the what they are saying that in order to calculate the aggregated sum and aggregated series for the current timestamp, let's say if I am at a ith timestamp, I need to use the value of ith timestamp and the ith plus 1 timestamp if it exists. If it exists, otherwise the next one, like otherwise the another ith plus 1, right? And if there is no next series or next series element present, then the value becomes 0. So this is what we have to do. So let's see the example, right? So for the first time we have the series as 1 and 3, right? So the time is 1, and value is 2, right? So for the one what we are looking for, we will find 2, right? And if you see in the second series we have timestamp with the 2. So what's the value of it become? So the value of first times is 3 and the value from the second timestamp is 2. So the what is the actual result is going to be, it is 1, what exactly the timestamp, and the sum of the values, it is 5. So this is for the first case. Let's move to the second one. For the 2, what we want as follow this condition, we want I plus 1, right? If it exists, if it exists, then pick it, otherwise pick the next one, right? So if you see for the 2, what we actually want, let's change this to 2, right? what's the timestamp is 2 and value is 2. So what exactly we are looking for is 3. But if you see in both of the series we don't have a timestamp of 3. So what we can do, we pick the next greater element, right? So that's what we are doing. We are picking 4 from here, right? Because 4 is the next to 3. So what the value of the current series is 2, and the value of current series like 4 to 1 is 1. So the what is the total series is going to be it is 2 and the sum is 3. So this is for the second one, right? Now we move to the fourth series, right? So this is 4. Let's update this one. 4, what the timestamp is 4 and the value is 1. So the timestamp is 4 and the value is 1. So for this case what we're looking for, remember this condition. Let's change the color. Remember this particular condition, this one, remember this particular condition, that will the code part, right? So for the 4 what we are looking for is 5. So if you see we have 5 over here, then what the value is going to be for the current 4, the value is 1, and from the fifth series like 5 and 2 series the value will be going to be 2. So what the result is going to be 3, right? And let's check for the last one. For the 5, if you see 5 2, the time is 5 but the value is 2, right? So this is the last timestamp which we have. And what we have to look for, we, as per this condition, we want ith plus 1. But if you see we don't have more series over here, right? Not a 6 nor a 6. In case of 2 we don't have 3 but we have 4. But in case of 5 we don't have any series. So what we have to do in this particular case, as they have clearly mentioned that if there is no series then pick the value as 0. So for the current series the value so the value is 2 but we don't have any value which is 0. So the answer become 5 and 2. So this is what we have to return inside the result. And if you see over here, so this is exactly this one. This is exactly what the result which we form and what the result which we got from here. So this is the core idea behind this particular problem, right? And the really interesting thing to solve this particular problem is that if you notice is that there are various things, right? If you are at a current series, then you just need to look for the next greater series. So you have various options to use various data structure. I also come up with a priority queue where you can just put an element and every time if you are at a current element, you just need to check what is at the top and use the value of that particular series. But if you notice is one thing, that okay, our series are sorted, so why not utilize this particular property over here? Because series are sorted, so it become really easy for me. So what I'm talking about, let's pick series 1 over here and series 2 over here. And what I'm going to use over here a 2-pointer approach. Why? Because these are sorted and I just need to process them as it is. I don't need to do anything. So I put 1 pointer over here, right, and another pointer over here. Got it? And now what I have to do, I just check which timestamp is less than. I see I have a 1 and 3, and the another is 2 and 2. So the timestamp is 1 is less than 2. So the result is I will take 1 and add both of the value which is 5, right? And after that I just move my pointer to point to the next value because I have processed the previous one, but 2 stays as it is because it haven't processed yet, right? And after that now I have to do the same thing again. Now the value is 2 2, right? And the another value is, just write it over if the first series values only, right? So the second series is 2 2. If you see, so which one has a lower timestamp? This one, because 2 is less than 4. So now the result is 2 and the value is become 3. So this is the result, right? And after that once it is done, then we move to this particular point because we have processed this part and similarly this part, right? Now what the series is look like, so now this one is 4 and 1 and the another series 5 and 2, right? So what, and if you see 5 like 4 is less than 5, so then the result is going to be the result is 4, which is the timestamp, and the values which are 3. So this is the result, right? And you see, we have processed 4, then we just simply go from it, right? So we have processed our first series, right? We have successfully processed our first series, but if you see, we still have one series left in series 2. So what we have to do in this case, so we have to simply use it, because for the 5 we don't have anything, so the value of is become like this. This is the result, right? So this is exactly what we have to find in this particular problem, right? So this is the main idea, and if you see, it's just a two-pointer approach. Let's see the code for the better understanding that what exactly I'm talking about. I just created an array list of array list because they can also ask for a list of array, right, instead of a list. That it is just like extra work, not at all, nothing else. Created a two pointers, created a find it the length, just iterating over the length and just checking this is the first series timestamp and this is the second series timestamp, just comparing the timestamp, which one is less than. If time 1 is less than, then I'm storing time 1 inside and moving the ith pointer, and same for the jth pointer. If both are equal, then I'm moving both of the pointer, and at the end just adding the inside the result. And these are the two cases when either of the thing left. If you see, in case of 5, we still left with 5, we don't have anything to process, but we have processed our series 1. So in that case, we need to process all the left series from that particular series. So this is doing for the first one, and this is for the second one. So this is the second problem, which is quite easy, not too much difficult as compared to the usual second problem of the weekly contest. So this is about the second problem. The time complexity is O of n plus m. O of n plus m, because we are iterating till O of n plus m, if you see, right? And the space, we don't have any extra space except the result which we are forming, right? So this is the time and the space complexity of this particular problem. So I hope you are able to understand the solution of both of the problem. If you are, do let me know in the comment section, and do subscribe to the channel if you are new to the channel. Do share with your friends so that they also got to know about this channel and also get some more audience as well. Apart from that, the contest questions are really good, and just keep learning and keep grinding. It will help you a lot. And until then, bye bye and take care.